We thank God for today. This seminar is apt, considering the fact that there's a lot of insecurity around Igede in particular, Benue and Nigeria in general. And our son, Igede, who pioneered this particular seminar, I want to appreciate him. And all the other stakeholders who came to help us in one way or other to be aware of our security. I think I want to appreciate everybody. It was a lot of value has been added as I'm living here today.
The occasion has been very, very successful, and we are really appreciative of the organizer of this event. In fact, the problem we have today is this issue of insecurity. And you know that when there's insecurity, you are talking of conflict, armed conflict. That community will rise against itself and one community against another one. And when this happens, it results into loss of lives, properties, and farm products and farm products, which affects the livelihood of the household. So it has motivated him to call these stakeholders that you see. In the seminar, we have several categories of individuals. We have the highly learned, the intermediate, and then the lowest there. Yeah, we're all here. And we're able to point to them that there's no need for conflict, because conflict doesn't do anyone any good. And because of that, we have to look for strategies to curb this incessant conflict that we witness today. And then most of all, because we know that the reality is there. There is conflict everywhere, and we are affected. So how do the average Igede man, average Nigeria, how do we cope with the aftermath of these conflicts? And that leads us to the issue of household coping strategies. We're able to look at a few, and in summary, the issue of agriculture came to bear. Because when everything fails, even people who are gainfully employed, the government money, because of the reality of economics on the ground, the money cannot sustain anyone. So we have to look back to that God-given way of making our livelihood, which is the agriculture we talk about. So we have encouraged each other to go back to the farm and also to manage the available resources we have, live within the context of our means, that is contentment, and then to encourage our youth that they can use their God-given potentials and energy to earn a living, instead of getting frustrated because of lack of government jobs and then go into town where they meet more frustration, and which will lead them to so much of these vices. So we have encouraged each other, and also to feel that there's nothing that you can legitimately engage yourself to earn a living that is shameful. Our youth feel that because they are graduates, they cannot go and do washing, like this car wash machine and all of this that fetch money. Some of them they don't want to do it because they feel that after studying for a number of years in the university, they cannot stoop low to this kind of ventures. But we have encouraged each other that they cannot look at it like that, but they should do anything legitimate to earn a living. And for the home front to encourage householders who are the leaders of the house to be more committed to their family. Let them be more committed, and let them also involve their spouses in whatever business they are doing. Because if they jointly manage their businesses, they can have the courage also to grow it. And in case of a demise of one partner, the other partner takes over, and the family business cannot die. So this is what it has all been, and then the general has done his part.
We want to see peaceful coexistence. We want to see brotherliness, we want to see neighborliness, we want to see how that translates to the good of society. And like we did establish in that presentation, it can be taken that crisis or war result to economic difficulty, whereas well-being, peaceful coexistence result to economic prosperity. So we have no option but to embrace peace and good neighborliness, and to shun this issue of taking arms against ourselves as brothers, so that our land and Nigeria will be good for it. The workshop has so many positive to go home with. And the impact, what we can talk about is the fact that the participants are now equipped to go home and become change agents in their various communities. Change agents for peace. And we believe and trust that the peace that we have brought our principles to support will translate to economic and social prosperity of the society. We have lacked this over time. We have seen societies, we have experienced inter-community crisis, we have experienced inter-community crisis, and even intra-community crisis in this area. So the workshop cannot be any less important and timely than we have now. So our hope and trust in God is the fact that the people are going home now, prepared and equipped to depart from this easy way of being prompted to fight against themselves and to embrace, brotherliness, hoping that will in turn translate to the peace and unity that we have craved for in our area.
I think it's a good one because as you are aware, across the nation, not just Nigeria, but even across the world, the issue of security is becoming very topical. Of course, I'm sure you know that since the crisis that erupted between Ukraine and Russia, food supply has been protracted, leading to very high costs of existence and living. Because food is a basic thing. So it's a good thing that this has come at the commencement of farming, where that the economy of the entire place where we come from revolves around agriculture. So the tips that people have learned from this place, not only for agricultural engagement, but for other aspects of life, like organizing themselves into groups, organizing themselves into productive groups, where to add value to agricultural produce and to be able to access credit and all of that. The whole gamut of the things that have been talked about, I think they're very timely. And if people are encouraged to buy into those ideas, I'm sure it's going to be very, very useful, and it will change the narratives come next year, as early as next year, when the produce and the steps taken have been implemented. I'm sure the early onset of the benefits will encourage people to do more. The Bible says that faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the preaching of the gospel. So except people hear how they can improve their lifestyles or their living conditions, they're not likely to be able to change, because this information is not commonplace as you may think of it. So the fact that they have this information now, the rest is in their hands for them to either use or not to use. But the good thing about it is that whoever chooses to utilize the information that have been passed out today is going to be the direct beneficiary of these things. It's not just the society, but because it's expected that if individuals within the society benefit, then the entire society is benefiting. The society is made up by people who belong to it already. So I think the prospects are high and good.
Yeah, the seminar was fantastic. I have good paper presentations from one of our own, and our own elders analyzing issues of security, economic realities, and how we can use our local solutions to these problems. Of course, we are aware that as we speak, the reality in Nigeria today is that an average individual is under stress. An average family is under stress. Even the federal government is under stress on how to manage the enormous insecurity challenges and economic realities. So what they did today, the Team 40 should be commended. They have done well, and we're proud of them. As a person, I give kudos to Major General Igede retired, and the member of the team. Let's keep this conversation on. This is the beginning. Let's keep on engaging others. Let's extend it. Let's open the space for people to talk. Find local solution to issues that are peculiar to themselves. If we're talking about food insecurity. Instead of us looking at abstract concepts, we should be looking at making use of our backyard for growing of food items that will solve our problems. If we're talking about local issues, why will a man that doesn't have a means of living giving birth to 3-4 children? These are issues that are peculiar to us. In those days, our grandparents used the number of children for farming. But today, our children are not ready to go to farm. Or you're giving birth to 5-6 children and you don't have a means to solve their problems. So it is expedient on us to have a family size that we can manage. In those days, people are forced to go to school. Government pay for all the school fees, all everything. But now, for you to send your child to school, you must pay. So why will you give back to a number of children that you cannot cater for? So it doesn't make sense to me as a person. And if you even take it to issue of insecurity, why don't you link up? Igede is the community that is linked. Our villages are linked. Alibla, Balokba, Alokba, Baloju, Aloju, Baloko, Aloko, Balainu, Aloko, Balainu, Balito. If you can do that network of relationship, that cordial relationship, there's no way an outsider will come here. So we must solve our problems locally.
1st of May, I was when inaugurated. I'm a member of the committee on advisor to DHQ on net central security. That means that what I'm doing is also part of open source intelligence, and it's part of my community engagement for that purpose. So what I'm doing, there's nothing outside the mandate that I currently have as consultant to Nigerian Army and advisor to CDS and DHQ on North Central Security. That is my current engagement. So what I'm doing, there's nothing outside it. The last comment revealed that the police particularly need to do more to improve security in our place. And there's no secret about it. No secret about it. He commends the leadership of the Nigerian police in the local government, that he's doing well and that anything that comes to him, he takes it very seriously. But that food policemen need to be guarded properly in the interest of the people. Because if the people become restive and they are not comfortable with the police, it means that they will not cooperate with them, isn't it? So the people also need to cooperate with the police. That means there has to be understanding. We will interface with the traditional rulers and other security agencies to improve that based on your comment. Thank you very much.